Well, good morning to everybody. It's so nice to see your smiling faces.
Lighting this for all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you for lighting a candle for us, Janet. That's wonderful.
Well, I just would invite us to all take a breath because there's so many changes happening. So
Oh,
many. Let's just take a breath, and I'll bring my guitar up and just. I'm going to put this candle here so that we can kind of see it. Okay. But probably the minute I put my guitar, it'll be blocking it for now. But I want you to know that you are the light, and we are the light for each other.
thank you so much.
And we are at a threshold point. It's threshold time. And so just as we take a deep breath, let us give thanks to our body. Our body is the container of our soul, our spirit. Our body allows us to be here on the earth, and it holds a lot for us. And I know that many times I'm not always very kind to my body. I put demands on my body. I get frustrated when it's not acting like I want it to. It's not doing what I want it to do. But our body is the vehicle that brings us here, that allows us to feel and experience our spirit. And so as you are here in this moment, let us just put our hands on our heart and give a thank you to our body. With every breath, let us give thanks. We thank you, old body, for holding the space. We thank you, oh spirit, for weaving this sacred place. We thank the world for every step we take. We thank our ancestors for every breath we make. Every breath we make. Ooh. We are on the threshold of our life. We are on the threshold of our dream realized. We hold the light. We hold the light. We hold the light. We hold the light. And every moment we take, every step we make, brings us closer to home. And the home is the heart where our love starts and radiates to the world. We are home. Oh, we are home. We are home. We're stepping over the threshold of our dreams. Let it open like a flower in spring, and know that we are here, that we are whole, and we are us, and we are all, and we are every moment we live. With our light we shine, and we step over the threshold into our dreams. that we can give, and we are we are and we are together in this moment, and we breathe. We are whole. We are
Oh, thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thank you, thank you. And now, if we could hear from Joan. Joan, how are you this morning?
Well, I am good, and I have a couple of announcements and then kind of a message. The first announcement is that the Spirit Psychic Fair is today from 11 until 6, and that's at the Community Center on Cottle, 5585 Cottle Road, done by the Living in Light Church. I will be speaking on past lives at 5 o'clock. So I look forward to you joining me if you have a chance. I love to talk about past lives. So that's my specialty. So the second message I want to, or announcement I want to give you is that first day of summer, June 21st, Panera on Coleman for a gathering, and we can celebrate spring and
Yay!
celebrate the changing of the seasons. So mark that on your calendar from 1 o'clock until 2:30 approximately. So I look forward to seeing you at both of those events. And then for today, I have a card again from the Wisdom Deck by Louise Hay. Freedom is my divine right. And I want to remind you that you are free to be exactly where you are and enjoy it. And you are free to explore enlarging your life and trying some new things and expanding your life so you can look at it several different ways. Freedom is my divine right, free to be me and embrace where I am right now, and free to expand my life, expand into travel, into reading books, into making new friends, into taking classes, uh, learning new skills, all kinds of freedom that you can explore. So that's my message for today. And of course, being an Aries, I love that idea of freedom being my divine right.
Thank you so much, Joan. That's wonderful. And I want to say thank you to everybody. Anyone else have something to say before I start? Yes, Janet.
just want to remind you that we have an incredible speaker series coming up with Reverend John Simmons and a whole crew of people that are here actually in this meeting talking about experiences, contact with extraterrestrials and other worlds. And I think it's just going to be a great speaker series. And that is going to be on June the 9th. Okay, second Tuesday in June from 6 to 8 p.m. So please join us. Please join
Wonderful.
us.
Thank you for
It's going to be
reminding us
so.
about that.
Yeah, it's so important, my friends, that we acknowledge many of us in this room have probably had some kind of connection with beings that are otherworldly, or an essence, or a feeling, or a thought. And I think when we talk about it, we lessen the stigma and we lessen the feeling of isolation that can sometimes happen with folks. And I just have to say, Reverend John, I've known him for many, many, many years. He is one of the most gentle, kind, spiritual people. He used to be a paramedic, and I actually met him when he was still a paramedic, way back in the days of the Center for Living with Dying. And he was just the most gentle, emergency responder. And he just has a wonderful, delightful energy. So I invite you, if you've never experienced him, he's been a long time UCM minister, and he is amazing. He is amazing. He does,
Great.
So, and we're going to hear from, Reverend Doti and Corky and several people in this room, Reverend Corky, talking about, our otherworldly connections. So join us as we discuss making contact.
Wonderful. Thank you. That's an exciting topic. I'm delighted to have you bringing that to us. Okay. Anybody else have anything they'd like to announce? Well, I'll just get into my talk. I'm going to be talking about what is compassion today. And I'd like to say good morning to everyone. I'm so happy to see you all here today and joining us on Zoom. This is wonderful. I can see all your faces all at the same time. And you're all kind of looking thought-provoking. Some of you are smiling gently. Some of you look like you're just waking up. It's wonderful to see all your faces. Good morning. Today we are talking about one of the most powerful spiritual forces in the universe, compassion. So just open up your heart, because compassion is not just kindness, it's sympathy or feeling sorry for someone. But true compassion is the ability to recognize the suffering, struggles, tears, and humanity of another person, and to respond with love instead of judgment. Think of that. Compassion is responding with love, not judgment. Right now, compassion may be one of the most needed spiritual practices in the world, because folks are tired, they're overwhelmed, and they're frightened about money, politics, health, aging, relationships, the future, and sometimes you're worried even about yourself, of what's going on with me. Compassion reminds us that we are never truly separate from one another. That is why every major spiritual tradition arrives at the same sacred teachings. Think about that. If you treat others the way you wish to be treated, think about, could you treat others the way you like to be treated? Because that is why every major spiritual tradition arrives at the same sacred teaching. That's really intense to think about. Treat others the way you wish to be treated. Because spiritually speaking, what we send into the world eventually returns to us. If you're angry at the world, the angry seems to be angry back. Compassion is spiritual intelligence in action. And as I was preparing for today's message, I kept returning to the simple truth. Compassion is love made visible. Think about that. How often do you feel compassion for other people, for other voices, for other things that are happening? Many people imagine great heroic acts, grand heroic acts, feeding themselves and healing the sick, saving the world. And compassion usually appears in much smaller ways too. A gentle word, a patient pause, listening instead of interrupting, choosing not to embarrass someone, or giving people room to be human. How many times do you do that? Give people a way to be human. Sometimes compassion is simply saying, I will not add more pain to this world today. That alone is holy work. I want to repeat that. I will not add more pain to this world today. Right now our world's in a lot of pain. And every person you meet is carrying something invisible. It may be grief, disappointment, fear, and or loneliness. Sometimes people are fighting battles so deep they cannot even explain themselves to themselves. How many of you have ever been in deep sadness?
Sure.
How many have ever felt alone, completely alone?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people are fighting battles so deep they can't even explain them to themselves. And that's sad. So look around right now. Look around at all the wonderful faces and send each person love. Just send love to Jeannie, send love to Janice, send love to Kathleen, send love to Lauren and Mel and Ruth and Sky and everybody else on the program. Just send them love. Because one of those people is fighting a battle so deep they cannot even explain it to themselves. So we're going to send love to Annie and Joyce and wonderful Janet and Eileen and Laura, and just everybody. Send love to everybody on the screen. Because often angry people are hurting people. Because difficult people are frightened people. Have you ever run into a difficult person? You can't understand them. You don't know why they're so angry. And it's because they're frightened. Think about that. Compassion is not weakness. It doesn't mean becoming a doormat or abandoning wisdom or boundaries. You can say no. You can walk away and protect your peace. I think many spiritually minded people forget this part. You don't have to be there for everybody. You have a choice to walk away and find your peace before you keep helping other people. Some people are wonderfully compassionate toward everybody except themselves. Have you ever met somebody that's compassionate but's having a rough time themselves? They understand everybody else's struggles but criticize their own. They say, I shouldn't worry about that, but they are worried about it. They say, oh, I shouldn't even think about that. Creator is love, and you are part of that divine creation. Then compassion must include you too. Don't just be compassionate for everybody else and forget yourself. It's important that you're compassionate for you. You deserve the same gentleness you offer others. Sometimes the most spiritual prayer we can pray is, I forgive myself for being human. Say that to yourself. I forgive myself.
I forgive myself for being
human. Okay, well, everybody else, I forgive myself for being human. Yes, yes. Now think about that for a moment. Different countries, different centuries, different languages and customs, yet Somehow humanity arrives at the same spiritual conclusion. We belong to each other. Our thoughts, our dreams, we can include other people in them. Maybe compassion is how the universe recognizes itself. But to realize that it's okay to be compassionate to yourself, as long as being compassionate to others. Now, let us be honest. Compassion is easy when people are lovable. It's really easy to be compassionate people who are lovable. It is much harder when people are annoying or rude, stubborn, politically impossible, or relatives.
Yes.
It's hard to be compassionate to relatives quite often. When you feel they've abandoned you, you feel they've left you, you feel they don't want to talk to you. Sometimes family members are our greatest spiritual workout program. Think about that. Sometimes our relatives are our hardest spiritual program. You can love the rest of the world, but I don't know about my uncle or my brother or my father or my mother. So think about that. Forgiving everybody, being compassionate. And right now, we are living in a world where many people are forgetting the humanity of those who disagree with them. I hear that all the time. From people I'm doing readings on, they say, oh, well, I just can't stand my son right now. Well, don't do that to people. Learn how to appreciate the people that are different than you. What pain might this person be carrying? Spiritual media has made people fast to judge and very slow to understand. I read things on my phone that are talking badly about people, and I get really riled up. And then I think, wait a minute, what pain might this person be carrying? And then look at them. Social media has made people fast to judge and slow to understand. Being a compassionate person means you listen. You breathe in and out slowly. You remember. This person is also a soul having a spiritual experience. That's a human experience they're having. Now again, compassion does not mean agreement. You can completely disagree with someone and still treat them with dignity. I know that sounds hard to do. It's not. Compassion does not mean agreement. You can completely disagree with someone and still treat them with dignity. Think about that. Who have you stopped thinking about with dignity? Bring them back into your life. Bring them back into your consciousness. They may actually be one of the highest forms of spiritual maturity. Think of that. Compassion may be one of the highest forms of spiritual activity and spiritual maturity. One gentle voice can soften fear. Have you ever had anybody who's really scared of what's going to happen talk to you? And what do? Just agree with them? Or do you give them a gentle voice that can help soften the fear? One understanding person can help reduce conflict. One loving presence can make people feel safe. Real compassion carries healing energy. And sometimes the greatest healing is not advice. Sometimes they simply need someone willing to sit beside them and say, I see your pain. You are not alone. That moment can save lives. I've had a couple friends of mine commit suicide. And after they were gone, I wondered, what could I have done? I could have said, I'll come sit with you. That helps more than anything else.
But you saved several others too.
Yeah, I've saved several.
By showing up.
By showing up, you save other people. That being compassionate to other people is the greatest gift you have. There's also compassion towards Earth itself. Chief Seattle said, I love Chief Seattle, he said, whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. I'm going to repeat that. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. When we abuse nature, we disconnect from spirit. How many of you are disconnecting with nature? You're abusing nature.
No.
It's time to accept everybody and everything that's going on. Compassion includes animals, trees, water, air, and the planet. These are all relationships that we're involved with. Accepting what's going on that's bad is the hardest spiritual lessons, is learning compassion for people who have hurt us or we fear are going to hurt us in the future. But keep feeling. Eventually compassion will allow us to stop carrying poison inside ourselves. Because resentment is exhausting. Hatred drains life force energy, and anger ages the spirit. Think about that. At some point, compassion whispers, you do not have to keep bleeding from old wounds. Let go of the past. Let go of that which is not good for you. Forgiveness is always about the other person. Sometimes forgiveness is how we set ourselves free. And I know that is difficult. But healing begins when we stop feeding suffering with more suffering. Think about that. What are you suffering about? What people are you worried about? Who are you concerned about? Turn your concern, your worry, and your anger around to compassion. Because I believe compassion expands consciousness. Fear says, protect yourself from everyone. That's what happens when you're fearful. You're trying to protect yourself. You shut out the world. Compassion says, we are stronger together. Fear divides. Compassion unites. Fear hardens. Compassion softens. Fear isolates. Compassion reconnects. What have you been fearing lately? Feel compassionate towards it. Because perhaps this is why spiritually evolved people throughout history radiated compassion. Not because their lives were easy, but because they recognized the sacredness inside all life. Those are the people that we should follow. Not because their lives were easy, but because they recognize the sacredness inside all life. You can still get irritated. I'm not saying you have to stop getting irritated.
Thank you.
You will still lose patience. You will still occasionally mutter things in traffic that would not qualify as advanced spirituality.
Thank you.
I think everybody has done that at some time. The guy who cuts you off, or the woman who slams on her brakes right in front of you. But God understands California drivers.
Yay, thank you, God.
You are still human. Compassion is not about becoming flawless. It is about becoming conscious. It is about catching ourselves sooner, softening faster, recovering quicker, choosing love more often. That is spiritual growth. You're not expected to be perfect, but you are expected to take your imperfections and bury it, or throw it away, or dislodge it. And maybe compassion begins with one simple daily question. How can I reduce suffering today? Think of that for yourself. How can I reduce suffering today? Suffering yourself, suffering of your friends, your family, suffering of the world. Maybe by smiling at someone. Maybe by listening to somebody who's going through a difficult time. Maybe by calling a lonely friend. There's a lot of people who are living by themselves who get lonely, but they don't want to reach out. So pick up the phone and call them. And maybe by speaking more gently to yourself. Think of that. You can be compassionate towards you. Maybe by refusing to spread anger. Think about that. What do you gain by spreading anger when it's so much easier to be compassionate? Maybe by choosing peace over being right. People who receive compassion often become more compassionate themselves. When you're compassionate to somebody, they become more compassionate themselves. So today, I invite all of us into a deeper practice, remembering that compassion is not weakness. It is one of the greatest strengths the human soul can possess. When you think of your strengths, how often do you think of compassion as one of your strengths? Everyone on this screen is a loving, compassionate person. Because compassion says, I recognize your humanity because I recognize my own. Being compassionate doesn't mean you forget all about yourself. Being compassionate is honor the divine within yourself. And think about that. How do you honor the divine within yourself? You pray, you think about it, you love yourself. That's the greatest gift you can give to yourself, is loving yourself and accepting yourself. Being compassionate with yourself is one of the most difficult things that people do. They are more compassionate with their kitty cats and their doggies than they are the next door neighbor. Think about what it takes to be compassionate. It takes a time to honor the divine within you. And say this, I honor the divine within myself. Okay, all of you. I honor the divine within myself. One more time. I honor the divine within myself. And think about that. How do you honor the divine within yourself? You love yourself.
I sing to me.
You sing to yourself. You talk to yourself. You choose what's right for you to eat. You take time to talk to people. By talking to other people, you honor yourself. And Janet, how do you honor yourself?
Well, I'm working on it. A lot of it is being forgiving of myself for having that extra piece of gluten-free chocolate cake when I probably could have gone without it.
No, no, don't deprive yourself.
Don't. Okay.
That makes you mean.
But a lot of it is, for me, it's like, for me, it's trusting myself. Like when I come on, for Sunday services, I never know what's going to come out of my mouth when I'm singing and playing. I never know it. And I have to give up that control, right? And
Right.
open up to that higher energy, or to that energy that comes from beyond.
Right.
But so it's scary sometimes.
Right. That's
You never
honoring.
know what's going to happen.
Yes. Yes. And that's honoring the divine within yourself. And think of that. Every day when you wake up, you say to yourself, I honor me. I honor myself. I love myself. I accept myself. And keep that going all day. Being compassionate with yourself. I understand that we are all connected in this mysterious journey called life. And perhaps in the end, compassion is simply love remembering itself. Think about that, every one of you. How do you love yourself? How do you love yourself? Do you love yourself because of the way you look? Do you love yourself the way you walk? Do you love yourself for what you say to other people? Do you love yourself by what? Just think about the ways you love yourself. Remember, perhaps in the end, compassion is simply loving and remembering yourself. So let's take a moment for each one of you to close your eyes and to say to yourself, may I become gentler.
May I become gentler.
Become gentler with yourself.
Become gentler with yourself.
And speak with kindness.
And speak with kindness.
Listen with patience.
Listen with patience.
May we walk softly upon this earth.
Walk softly upon this earth.
And may we remember every act of compassion, no matter how small, helps heal the world.
Every act of
Repeat
compassion.
after me. No matter how small,
No matter
every
how small,
act of compassion
every act of compassion
helps heal the world.
helps heal the world.
And know that's true. You can be so compassionate. You can be kind. You can be loving. And you have some days where you don't feel like being any of that. You just feel like being angry. You just feel like not liking the next door neighbor. You just feel contempt for everything. Let it flow through you and then say, I accept and love myself. Be compassionate with you. That's the way to make it through the world, is with compassion. And be compassionate for people who are going through sorrow, for people who are going through anger, for people who are going through distrust. Be compassionate for those people. And I want to say something that I don't often talk about, but that's politics. I have so many people angry at different people who are in practice. From the top of the mark all the way to the bottom. But being angry at somebody that you don't even know, that you've never held their hand, doesn't help anybody. Be compassionate with people.
Annie's hand is up.
Annie, yes. Annie?
Yep, thank you. One of the things that I've learned throughout the years that was taught to me in a class that I took was I was having a lot of trouble with being an empath. Because when you're an empath, you're feeling people's feelings. and you might be reflecting their emotions, and you can be, giving out what they're giving out as opposed to being in a calming manner. And I was told if you would take this empathy, turn it into compassion instead, so that you can understand what they're feeling without making it affect yourself, put you into a place where you are not suffering along with them. You are with them in strength.
Oh, that's wonderful, Anne. That is perfect. Yes. Anybody else have something they'd like to say about compassion in their life?
Good morning.
Good morning.
And my daddy, all of you would have loved to have met Joseph Levi Thomas Brown. He was a remarkable man. I learned from him how not to judge all sorts of wonderful things, but to come from feelings and to be there for others doesn't mean that you have to be something greater than them. It means that it's important to be able to come to them from where they are and talk with them and be their friend.
Yes.
And I watched all of this for a long time with my daddy, and I learned a lot from him.
Yes, you learned how to be compassionate.
Yes, he was very, very compassionate. It was amazing. Also, he had a very good sense of humor, by the way.
Well, a sense of humor is a good way to be compassionate. When you can laugh with
Yes.
somebody, not at them. When you can laugh and enjoy somebody
Oh,
else, that's being compassionate. Thank you so much,
well,
Joyce.
that's good because that's true. Thank you.
Yes, yes, Janet.
I'm just going to play off that because uh, Mr. Brown is one of my guides.
Oh, wow.
And what he teaches me is to take things lightly, right? He's always saying, Janet, you're so intense. You're so right in the battlefield. And it's like to take things lightly and to
Right.
have a sense of humor about all of our humanity, I mean, the ways we're human, and being able to be gentle with ourselves, just as you said, Dottie,
Right.
in a beautiful way, and also to meet a person where they are and not hold any expectations. And that's been a problem. Well, I worked so hard with this person. Why aren't they better? Right? Like, okay, Janet, it's not your journey. So
Right.
thank
Yes.
you for this reminder.
Right. Thank you.
Mhm.
And Donna Christensen has what to say.
She said that I'm sorry I'm late. I'm in Delaware. Let's see, let me get in the chat room there. And so good to see you all. Be well. I'm challenging. Oh, it's challenging to be on Zoom on her cell phone. Oh, I agree with that.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for doing it. Thank you for making the effort.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
You're doing a stellar job.
Anybody else who has?
Oh yeah, here's
Arlene
Arlene
has her hand
Dean.
up.
Hi, Miss
Yes.
Dean.
So, hopefully that unmuted me.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
good.
So this is weird, but I'm sitting here at my desk and underneath I've got a plastic thing over it because I've got so many little notes that I've written down to myself or quotes and whatever to inspire me when I sit down. And I just glanced over and found one, and it's pretty weird, but it's from Longfellow. And Longfellow said, if we could read the secret history of our enemies, we should find in each man's life sorrow and suffering enough to disarm all hostility. That's a
Wow.
kind of way of being able to think about, especially when I think about politicians. Dottie, you were talking about people you haven't met or whatever, and you have this immense anger at them. But I don't care what they look like, sound like, or whatever. Yes, we know people by their actions, but we don't know what their history is. We don't know what actions were done to them or how they were bent along the way.
Right.
So we can find compassion that way.
Right.
Okay, there's
So
Kathleen.
you're being compassionate.
Kathleen.
I'm trying.
Oh.
I have
Kathleen.
those days too.
Hi,
Baby.
I've been cleaning floors this morning, which is why you don't see me too much. But just wanted to kind of follow up, with you, like you were talking about, not being ruled or controlled by fear, and so I've been taking a shamanism course, and then they talk about it in the sense of practicing fearlessness, and which is kind of just being in that place of fear isn't sort of a state of being, kind of like where you're coming from. It's like kind of returning it back to just kind of the warning system it is for like stuff happening around you. And there's that phrase, false evidence appearing real.
Yeah.
Right.
This is kind of a good way of kind of keeping that type of fear in check.
Right.
I just wanted to share that.
Well,
Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you so much.
That's wonderful. Okay. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add?
Well, compassion is so different than what is the other word? Impact. Being empathetic, because empathetic, you take it in with you, to you, and you become part of whatever that is. And when you're compassionate, you're giving. It's like you're hugging someone, but you're not telling them what to do.
Uh-huh.
And you're not taking it in yourself. I think that's really important too.
Right.
Oh, here's Stephen. Stephen.
Hi, I think one of the hard things about compassion is it's not reciprocal. It's one of the things we do that you are compassionate and you don't get anything back. All you get is good, which is pretty darn good, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of even love, in most of the ways we love, we expect at least a good feeling out of it. When you have compassion, it's all you that's probably maybe one of the most godlike things you are, because it's giving, it's you are doing, and if you get nothing out of in the exchange, you're still good with it.
Right.
And maybe that's why compassion isn't as popular.
Yeah.
So there.
Okay, Donna Christensen.
I
Maybe Stephen.
I finally found the unmute button, but since I missed most of the lecture, was there discussion about self-compassion? Because that is so lacking in our world today, where people just do not have the self-compassion, to care for themselves. So I'm just wondering if that had been brought up.
No, thank you for bringing that
You kept
up.
saying, and yourself too. Remember to be that way, but not in depth. Just remember to self care.
Yes, yes. You have to self-care for yourself before you can care for others. You have to
Right.
have that self-compassion to be effective. So I just hope that everyone does practice that.
Well, it's a training. It's a training. I mean, you have
Hmm.
to decide what it is you want and be steady with it. And so which causes you have to think before you speak a lot of times or
Hmm.
act.
Hmm.
Compassion requires that to be.
Right. And to open your heart.
Yeah.
Right.
Open your heart.
So thank you,
Okay.
Donna.
Thank you.
You're
And
welcome. Love you
I
guys.
Yeah,
love you
Eileen?
too.
Eileen?
Your turn.
Hi. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to add to the conversation that in Buddhism, we have a practice of metta meditation, right? Which is when we self-direct the sensation of loving kindness first, and then from there expand it out to your intimate family, friend circle, and keep going out like concentric circles. And only when we have had the self-compassion, then we'll have enough for the rest of the world. But at the same time, it's not like, understanding their perspectives and being a pushover, but in fact, it's kind of being stronger with the path, with the energy first. And speaking up, therefore, is also a kind of compassion for yourself and for them.
Right.
That, as we say, stronger together, but, without being a pushover.
Right. Yes, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I have Eileen, you have something else to say?
Nope, that's it.
That's oh, you a little yellow hand up on your.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I want to give you now. Right now, speaking of giving, it's time to pass the basket. And
Joan, where are you?
Joan, where are you? I want to thank everybody for the donations they have been making. This has been a wonderful month. People have been sending in money and to the church, and that is so appreciated, because we've had quite a few people asking for help. Finances have been really strict this whole month, where it's hard for people to even be able to stand up and look at themselves and accept themselves, because financially they're behind the 8 ball. So we've been sending checks out to people, and thank you so much for supporting the church. We really do appreciate it. It's wonderful what you do and what you give us. Thank you so very much. And
Yeah, what comes around goes around.
Yeah, what comes around goes around. That's for sure. That's the way it works. And Corky, did you have something final to say?
I love you guys. Thank you so much for showing up. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we really do appreciate
And
it.
I'm gonna go
And
and pick
thank
up,
you, Dottie and Corky, for all that
Yes,
you bring.
and pick up Joan and take her to the fair and go and say hi to everybody at the fair.
Yeah,
So
Awesome.
we'll see ya.
yeah.
Fun.
Thanks.
Now, remember, this week, this month, this year, be compassionate to people. Appreciate everyone you meet and show them compassion. And take a time to step outside of yourself and meet other people. Take a trip somewhere different, just so you can meet new people. A lot of people I know, their society is getting smaller and smaller because of death, because of moving. So many people are moving out of the area. So what we want you to do is to take this week to make it sure you meet one person.
Do I have to meet somebody new?
Yes.
Oh.
You don't say good morning, Dottie. You have to meet somebody new.
So, but I am going to the psychic fair today, so
No, good.
I'll probably find.
Good. So you'll finally meet somebody new.
Yeah, but then if I have to do something for next month too, boy, man. So you have a love you, Mama Boon.
Oh, I love you too,
Skies.
Sky. Thank you so much for being on board today. We're going to try and get our plumbing situation straightened out so more people can come spend Sunday morning with us. Thank you so very much.
Everything should be fine for next week.
Okay. Thank you, Janet, for the song. Thank you, Joan, for all your talking.
Oh, and next week we're going to talk about being psychic.
Next week we're going to talk about how to be psychic and what to do with your psychic abilities.
Well, that's kind of like the spirituality of being psychic, because that's...
Yeah, the spirituality being psychic. Thank you, Corky, for sharing that. And we love you all.
Love you too.
And say
Love you,
goodbye.
everybody. Thank you so much for showing up. We really appreciate it. Love you, and talk to you.
Good day,
y'all
everyone.
soon.
Yes.
Blessings
Bye.
to all.
Bye now.